Welcome to part number 2 of the Mega Man 1 Perfect Pacifist Run. Elec Man is one of the more difficult stages of the game. Not so much for the stage. There's really nothing that's going to get in your way. There's really no stage hazards. I mean, you can easily avoid the electricity that comes out from the walls and all these enemies that move along the floor. Nothing like that is really going to cause you to get hit. But one single enemy manages to make this stage much harder than it should be. These green flying things, I don't know what they are, but they shoot out 2 beams of electricity, and you can just barely fit through them. It's a very tight squeeze. You really don't have much room for error, and these enemies show up multiple times throughout the stage, and each time they do, they are very difficult to avoid. I'd say besides Elec Man himself, I lost most of my attempts to those green things. It's just, there's really nothing you can do to make it easier. You just gotta weave between their shots and hope you make it. As you continuously do this stage, you will get better and better at moving in between them, and you'll get through them more consistently as you go through the stage. But when you first start out, you are going to lose countless attempts to them. They're a very tricky enemy, and they're probably the hardest enemy to deal with in the entire challenge. Simply because there's really nothing you can do to avoid them. There is really nothing you can do to get rid of them. And it's not like you can go like beneath or above their shots, because you really don't have the time to go beneath them. You really have to go in between the shots. That's just how it works, and it's very, it's tough. It's something you gotta get the feel for. You can't just run into the situation and expect that you will make it through, because that's just not going to happen. There is no way you are going to get through those things on your first try. It's really a thing you just need to practice, and eventually you'll be able to get through them pretty consistently, and most of the time you will make it to Elec Man. Now, speaking of Elec Man, he is the biggest problem of this stage. Now, one thing I didn't know about Elec Man when I first did this stage is that you can trap him in a pattern where he is unable to move, or he's able to move, but he won't attack you. And I did not know this when I went through this stage the first time. So I lost about 30 to 40 tries on Elec Man, when it really should have taken only 3 or 4. It's just, I didn't know about this, and later on someone told me about this trick, because I have to use it in the boss refights, because otherwise you cannot get past it. You can't get past him. So the strategy I use for the first Elec Man fight, I get on top of these crates, and I just shoot and jump over his attacks. Now, the worst possible thing that could happen is him getting on top of the crates. If he gets on top of them, it's pretty much game over. He's either going to charge at you, or he's going to shoot a shot. And while you're standing here, you can jump over every single one of his thunder attacks. But, you have to make sure that he does not get on top of the crates. If he does, you're just gonna take a hit. There's nothing you can do. I mean, he can jump on them briefly and then you can knock him off, but you can't just let him get on the crate and do his attacks, because he will hit you. And I'll talk about the pattern you can trap him in when we get to the boss refights, but I will see you all in part number 3.